Welcome back to the channel. My name is Dede and I am the Invincible CEO, and this is the Invincible CEO YouTube channel, Manifest with Ease. This whole channel and all of its wonderful videos are designed to help you get rid of all the frustration with manifestation, because manifestation is easy and fun. And my job, my goal, my intention for this channel is not only for you to manifest with ease, but I want to see you win. I want to see you win big, and I want to see you win all the time. And for me, the most important thing is that manifestation should be easy and fun. It should not be a job. It should not be a chore. It should not be this thing that it always should be a thing that adds on to you. So if you're on your manifestation journey, whether you're at the very beginning or you're a seasoned adept manifester, there's always more ways to bring in the joy, to bring in the fun, to bring in the excitement. So what we love to do here is not only share different techniques, but I love to share my clients' success stories. And there is a wonderful guest that we're going to have here today. Not only am I so proud to call him my client, but even more so, my heart is opening. He has become an amazing, close personal friend of mine during this journey. So please allow me, with no further ado, to introduce Declan Oceguera. And there you are. Ta-da! Instant manifestation. Look at that.
Look at that. See, it works.
It works. It works.
Hi
so
there.
My Visionary Voyager friend, share a little bit about yourself.
Oh, where to begin? Where to begin? Well, first of all, boa tarde or boa noite or bom dia, depending what time of the day it is when you see this video. I am sitting here in Portugal, where I now live, and we'll get to that part in this conversation, I'm sure. But
Yes.
Originally from the United States, I have now been living in Porto for a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Yes. Time flies when you're manifesting and having fun. Okay, so let's go back a little bit, and you can decide how far back before we met to share a little bit of your backstory. Because again, we know that it's not about the backstory. However, this is a story.
Yes. So, how shall we do this? And the reason, in case you watching are wondering why is he hesitating? It's really because who I am now is not who I was. I am a completely different version of myself. And the version that met Dede was in a completely different place in his life. And so I'm going to speak about him like he's in the third person, because that's how we do. So,
and if I may interject, he had even a totally different name. You've really gone all in with this manifestation thing.
100% all in. Yeah. If you're following Dede, and certainly if you're working with her, I recommend you just do everything she says. Go all in and be very uncomfortable.
Go all in.
So yes, the different version, right? Who we love, because all the versions get us to a certain place, and then that's as far as they can go, right?
Yes.
And that guy, really lovely person, had lots of experience in transformation coaching and training and development, hypnosis, neuro-linguistic programming, even thought he knew about manifestation. He did a little, not the way I do now, but that version had gotten himself into a place of pretty despair, let's put it that way, and things were not looking really good. And somehow he was able to not 100% give up, although it was really close to just throwing in the towel,
not wanting to be here anymore, type of thing.
Exactly. And which for him that's quite shocking, because that's completely opposite of all that he had studied and become and practiced and taught and coached. But yet there he was. So he made a choice to get off the ledge, so to speak. And it was shortly after that he met Dede.
And just real quick, you're speaking about yourself, your old character in third person. Why?
Because who I am now is not that person. I don't identify as that person anymore. Right. Certainly, I've kept the best aspects of him, and there were many, but yet there was a limit to where he was able to get. So it was definitely like being in this loop. Like sometimes you talk about like Groundhog Day, right? Or these movies where you wake up and it's the same story every day and you're trying to figure out how to make it different. Well, that version of me kept doing that, but couldn't figure out how to make it different, how to get out of that loop.
Yeah.
You talk about mind loops.
Yes, all the time.
Getting trapped in these cycles of thinking that keep you trapped. So that's where he was. And so I talk about him this way because that's not where this guy is anymore.
Yeah.
And in meeting Dede, so that my favorite part when I tell the story to people is I met this woman, and she said the craziest thing to me. We had a Zoom meeting, and she said, I am your genie. Your wish is my command. What do you want? And I couldn't answer that question. And past versions of that guy could answer that question, but he got to a place where he literally could not answer the question. And then he proceeded to tell Dede a very sad story about all the things, all the problems, all the issues, all the isms, all the physical things that doctors had been telling him were wrong. And she just very kindly listened and let me go on and on and on. And then she says, there's a version of you that if he heard what you just said to me, he'd look at you like you have 10 heads, because he's never had that experience. He's never had any of those problems. He doesn't even know what the hell you're talking about. And that was shocking to me to hear, because I heard those words, but that version had not had that experience of even understanding, really feeling what she had said to him. And that's what got me very interested to keep listening, that there was a possibility that there's another version of me, another timeline, right? Another character that never had those things, and that I could very quickly step into that version. And so that's what we did. All right.
Yeah.
We created a new character. We kept the best of that guy, right? Let go of the rest, and then created a whole new list of attributes.
Mm-hmm.
And created what it is. It got really clear about what I do want. I was able to start dreaming again and thinking again about and believing in that what I had always wanted, that I had let go of, right? Because that guy couldn't answer the question, what do you want? So I was able to bring that back into focus, and so much more beyond that. And very quickly with Dede, just make these shifts in a way that I had never done before, even as a mindset coach, as a transformation, like countless hours, years, hundreds of thousands of dollars of training, all very helpful. And I've helped a lot of people with that, but this is not that.
Nope.
This is reality creation. It isn't thinking your way into that's helpful and useful. That's a very long way to get there. And that other version of me made huge changes in his life through that over many years. But this, what we have done, happened. I mean, if you could quite honestly say, instantly. The shifts happened quickly.
Yeah, they did.
So I hope that made sense. Well, I made some big choices and let go of relationships that it was time, right? I really, what happened was I chose me. I chose really having what I want in my life, and did that like my life depended on it. To then booking this trip to Portugal that was supposed to be a 5-week vacation, and my first stop was to here in Porto, which was only going to be 5 days, and then I was going to decide from here. I bought a one-way ticket, which is very funny now looking back. But at that time, it made sense to me because I'd never traveled like that. I brought one carry-on suitcase, basically shorts and t-shirts. The lightest I've ever traveled in my life, especially coming to Europe, all because I wanted to have this experience of being free. And freedom was actually one of the attributes that I had put into my new character: adventure, travel, freedom, luxury. So I went with that. And I came to Porto and really expected not to like it here. And I wanted to just kind of get this part over with and then go to Spain and Italy, which is where I had really wanted to go to next, and just have fun, finally get to have fun after, coming and seeing this place and then going, carrying on. But then something else happened when I got here.
So you get there.
Yeah.
You tell your manifestation coach you only brought a one-way ticket.
Yeah.
And you're still there.
Yes, I have not gone back to the United States.
Yeah. So share a little bit about that process.
A year and a half later.
A year and a half later, you're still there.
Yes. So what happened was when I got on my first day here, a very unexpected thing occurred. And that was, I just instantly knew that I'm supposed to be here. And that's not what I came here for. I didn't come here to move here. I brought one little suitcase, right? I had a life back there. I had a life back in the United States. I had a car payment and a rent and a dog and stuff, right? I had a whole lifetime of stuff. And so this was very shocking, but because of my practice and training and all of that stuff in intuition and awareness, I knew like what I felt and what was so like inside. It was cellular, like inside every cell of my body. I just knew, I'm supposed to live here. This makes absolutely no sense. And the more asinine something is like this, the more I know. If I don't pay attention, then I'm really,
Welcome to the world of manifestation, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
It's against everything. Yep.
Cognitive dissonance, extraordinary levels. So I just very quickly, and at this point I was working with Dede in one of her programs, and I just knew, okay, I had always wanted to live in Europe. I didn't think it would be Portugal, but it was part of the big picture, right? It was part of travel, right? Being a global citizen. I was saying that before I came. I've been saying that all my life, but I was really bringing that this was part of the manifestation. Done deal, right? I just didn't think it was going to happen like that fast. So here it was. I said yes, and but I did think I needed to go back, right? Because there are ways to do this, and this process of immigrating, right? And Dede kept saying, "You don't have to go back." This lady's, because I like her a lot. She's very nice. Like, she's so great, but she doesn't understand this. She doesn't get, okay. Like, she's never been here. She doesn't know. And she just kept saying, you don't have to go back. Well, she doesn't really, but there's laws and rules and da-da-da-da-da, which, there are. And
are there?
Well, in some reality, yeah.
Reality, guys.
And I couldn't accept it. But there was one route that I had known about, but completely just said, that's not possible, because I have to go back. I have to do this. I have to make that person happy. They will be sad if I don't. They will be upset if they don't see me. Like, but all my things, and what about this, and what about that?
What was different at this time of us working together that you could credit the decisions that you made in this whole process?
What was different?
Because I know that a lot of my viewers are on the fence. They want to do some manifestation coaching, and they're not quite sure what difference coaching makes.
Oh, well, I mean, honestly, if I wasn't there, like, I would have gone back. If I wasn't working with you and hearing the things that you were saying in the way that you say them, and doing the work that, learning these tools, and some I knew, but in a very different way. A lot I had heard of these things, but I didn't know that it was real. And so if it wasn't for that, you were telling me things that felt scary, very scary to me. And so we call these, like, taking these jumps, right? These bungee jumps.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, do that scary thing and watch what happens. And every time you would tell me, okay, it's time to do one of these bungee jumps. And I would, because I'm a good student, I did them, even though I wanted to puke.
I think one time you said to me, I think all you're doing this is because all you want to do is see me bungee jump after bungee jump.
Yes, which is true.
He knows my sinister plan.
But every time one of those when I did one, then that's when this huge opening would happen, right? This rapid shift would take place.
So in addition, now you decide to move. You're there with your one suitcase, but over the course of this year and a half, more and more wonderful things have opened up for you.
Yeah, there's just so many things. So one thing I had to do was find a place. I needed a legal address here, and that happened. Actually, I arrived on September 4th. On October 31st, I moved into a penthouse apartment here in the part of the Porto that's called Gaia. Which is like outside, like behind me is like the historic zone of Gaia in Porto, and like the pictures you see,
it's beautiful,
it's stunning. Yes, it's like, what? There's the ancient river flowing here, like, that I get to look at all the time. This is where I live, right? Like, and part of what was part of that manifestation was I had written out in September very clearly what I wanted, how I wanted to live. And this place is all of it and more, right? And much bigger than I expected. So that happened very quickly. This whole download for the Visionary Voyager, which came as a complete business idea, and to start a transformation, travel, and tourism business, which made no sense at the time because I was, Mr. Transformation Coach. That part worked, but travel and tourism, like, yes, I want a life of travel, but how am I, what? It didn't make sense, but it came all so clearly. And I wrote it all down, and I started using this name, Visionary Voyager, but I couldn't, it didn't all make sense. And then it did. And one of the most awesome parts of this is meeting my, we've been married for 5 years and 6 months. Figure that one out, folks. I got.
It does make sense here.
It makes sense here, yes. Fabio, my partner, who's born here in Gaia, Portuguese. He's an archaeologist, and had already had a tour guide business. And then we meet, and now we're collaborating. We're in the process of writing the first of several books that are self-paced tour guides. We're offering very customized, these beautiful transformative tour experiences for people who want to come and have a very different kind of experience being here. There's much more. We have videos. We have a YouTube channel that is growing, and there's just all these things, and it's all about travel and tourism. And so he was the piece that I didn't know was going to be coming, and I didn't know that he was going to be happening so quickly in this process. That was who he is and how he is, and all the things are exactly the kind of person I imagined myself being in my done deal being with. But I thought that would be way later, because I just didn't think I was in that place for that to happen yet. I didn't think I was ready for that.
That's silly gone now moment, that place, that now moment, right? The only place to be.
Yes. So, I mean, there's so many other things. It's like I kind of lose track of all these things that happen on a regular basis. Yeah. Even down to this. Let me tell you this. There, across the street, there's an old house that is actually being dismantled. And yesterday they started doing work, and it was so noisy in here. So noisy, because it just echoes up. And they're over there. And I said today, I have 2 interviews today, this one and one later. I said, there will be no noise. There will be no doing of the thing over there during my interviews. Do it all day, but not when I'm on camera.
Exactly. Because it's your world. It's your...
Yeah. I don't know how they're doing it quietly. Well, I do know how. I created it, right?
Yeah, because you told them to. Because it's your now moment.
Exactly. So when you really learn these things, huge things can happen. And things that don't seem like such a big deal. But when you really, really get that you're the creator of your reality, then life is very different, and it's so much more fun.
So when you have this crazy coach that says to you 3 months from now, 6 months from now, you're not even going to recognize your own life, a year from now. We say that a lot here on the Invincible CEO. Yeah. You're living proof of that.
Yes. And I will just say this part too. That other version that I talked about earlier, there were lots of physical things that doctors told him. You can't do this, you won't do that, you will die by this, like all the reports, the stats, the tests. And I started working with Dede with those things. And what was so amazing was she heard it, but she never saw me. You have never seen me as any of those things. And that's one of the great things about working with someone like Dede in particular, is once you tell her what you want and it, in what your done deal, right? That's the only way she will see you. And more than you actually can see for yourself. So there are things that have happened that she has seen for me that I hadn't or wasn't willing to. And now, oh, right. She said that was going to happen. Not in a psychic way necessarily, but in the knowing what's possible, right? Or maybe psychic too. I don't know. She's amazing.
But we won't tell anyone about that.
We won't go about that. But what I want to talk about is that this state of being physically goes to the gym 5 times a week, when a chiropractor told the other version, you should never bend forward again in your life because your L5 herniated disc will go out and you'll be lying on bed. You should not do these things, right? Oh, okay. But because I worked with Dede and she didn't see me as those things, I was able to not see that anymore, because this version of me never had those problems, never had those issues, and never will.
Yes.
So the physical change and the mental changes, the physical manifestations are lovely, but what has happened from the operation of this body is one of the most precious things that's come out of all of this for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just such a joy from my end to watch all this unfold for you. We've done personal training together. We've done some nutrition together. We've done mindset and manifestation coaching together. And for me, the other thing that I love is such a beautiful friendship has come out of this too.
Mm-hmm.
You're one of my dears. friends along the process of this. That's an extra bonus on top of all of that. So
Yes.
if you could say to anyone watching, if they're on the fence about getting some coaching with me,
Mm-hmm.
and whether it's timing or sticker price, whatever, what would you say to them?
Just do it. There's, you know, it wasn't necessarily convenient at that time. The way that, so I give credit to the version of me that originally started the journey, right? Because
Right.
he jumped into this like his life depended on it, right? Now, I wouldn't say that anymore. Like me here doesn't say like things like that anymore, but that version did. In that version, it got him
Right.
to say, I'm going to say yes because this is so crazy, but this is I've done everything else. I know all these other things. This is worth trying. And if all else fails, you know, oh well. It was like I had, unfortunately, that version of me had gotten himself into a place where it felt like the last option because a lot of other things hadn't worked. Don't let yourself get to that place. Just say yes now. Why would you want to torture yourself anymore? And
let Dede
I
do
just,
it. Don't torture yourself on your own. Let Dede do it with you.
yeah, you'll change real fast. But it's amazing. You know, I've had a lot of coaches. I'm a coach, but the way that Dede coaches is different, and it's amazing to know that there's someone who, even if I forget what I said I wanted, or even how quickly I wanted something, or how I wanted something, she doesn't, and she's never going to let me waver from what I said I wanted because she knows it's possible. And it's been proven so many times already, you know, and you haven't even heard most of what's happened, you know, in my journey here. So to have someone like that on your side you can't pay enough for that, honestly. And it's worth doing that jump, doing that bungee jump, and just saying yes. Because if you really are serious about wanting to see what it's like to really have your dream reality, then this is the way to do it. Dede is the one.
And real quick, you just came out of, you were in the 1-day event on March 16th that we had. And that's
Yes.
probably your 4th or 5th event that you've been to.
Is it?
At least.
I don't know.
At least. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
been a lot of
Yeah.
so for someone who's been through other events and you've already been coaching with me, what was your experience like there that day?
Well, you know, but Fabio, actually, that was his first time doing an event, and he thought he was going to be bored, and I just laughed at him. He stayed to the very end. Yes, I was like, "Oh, you silly pickle." And he asked me, "Why? You know all these things? You guys talk about this all the time. Why are you doing this?" I said, "Because I don't care if she says every single thing that she's ever said to me, it's going to hit me different. Something is going to happen different. Something, and she's going to say things I'd never heard before. I know it because because she does. Like it's like, but the reminders of these concepts, but the experience of being with you and with that group of people, that was awesome. Everyone stayed basically. Some people who couldn't even be there at all, like Olga, got on somehow, even in the car driving, because she wanted it that bad. She was just going to watch the videos later, which she will, right? But
Yes.
people were there and present and captivated by every word. And having that experience with you, it just like I just felt like I was just like shot off into space again, in the best way possible.
Nice.
And it was just worth me sitting, as Fabio said, I don't want to sit in front of a computer all day long. I'm going to be bored. I said, okay. And then we both did. And we weren't bored. And it was amazing. We had the most amazing experience doing this.
So tell everyone, where can they find the Visionary Voyager? where can they
Yes.
reach out to you, especially if they want
Yes.
to visit Porto in Portugal?
Yes. So the best place to go currently is my YouTube channel, which is the Visionary
Visionary
Voyager.
Voyager. Yes.
Yes. And there in my profile, you can see my Linktree link, which connects to my other social medias, as well as my calendar. So you can book a conversation with me, but everything that we're doing is there. And very soon, we will have our pages up for the tour stuff that we're doing here and our new book.
Awesome.
So.
And I'm excited to share that one of the featured channels on the Invincible CEO YouTube channel, the Visionary Voyager, is going to be a featured channel on our channel. So I'm so very excited about that. So all you'll have to do when you're watching this video, if you want to find out more about the Visionary Voyager, is go to the homepage down at the bottom where all the featured channels are and click on the Visionary Voyager, and you will find Declan and all his. I love all your videos. I love your shorts. I love your videos. They're so much fun. They're so entertaining. And Porto is so beautiful. I would have never known if you hadn't been sharing these videos.
Yeah, it's a lovely place. Yeah, so yeah, visit the page and see a little bit of Porto. And if you're ever coming to Porto, then we have really great things to share with you here.
Yes. Well, thank you for being here, taking the time, sharing. We probably could spend hours upon hours talking about, and it's like, I'm like, I wanted you to speak about so many different things, but I know we only have a certain amount of time to do this. Yeah. But thank you so much for being here. Any last final words that you'd like to share?
Just the sooner that you believe that you're the creator of your reality, the sooner you'll be creating your reality consciously, because you already are, but consciously. And it's a world of difference when you are doing it as the creator versus being at the effect of
whatever else, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Well, thank you again for being here. I appreciate you deeply. All right, guys, thank you. Thank you so much. If you like this video, if you'd like to see more client success stories, hit that like, hit the share, subscribe to the channel. You know, from the bottom of my heart, I'm a big kid. We're here to have fun because I want to see you win. I want to see you win big, and I want to see you win all the time. And I want to know, what will your success story sound like when I interview you for the Invincible CEO channel? If you'd like to learn more or you'd like to see more success stories, check out the playlist above. Enjoy.